Well, I'm up here in Possagno now. I wanted to find out whether Possagno really is an alternative to Bassano if Bassano is too crowded. Where is Possagno located? Let's start in Bassano to explain. Here we see the Stella takeoff in Bassano. More information about this you find in my first Bassano video. Getting up the mountain and soaring along the ridge towards the east takes the pilot to higher regions and closer to Possagno. On top of Monte Grappa we find the Soldier Monument, from where you can see the first time the landing sites in Possagno. Just below the Soldier Monument there is the most eastern takeoff of Bassano, called Panettone. More explanation about this takeoff you can find in my second Bassano video. The Possagno landings are closer to Panettone than the Bassano landings. From here it's only a small crossing to the Panettone takeoffs, where I am located in this video at the moment. Driving up here really was an adventure, and I'm so glad and so happy that I have a four-wheel drive, powerful one. Otherwise I think I wouldn't have made it up this road. There are three options to get up to the takeoff at Monte Pallone and Monte Pis. I took the yellow one to get up and the blue one to get down. I cannot recommend the yellow one at all. It's dangerous, narrow, and with a lot of obstacles on the road. The red road had the same warning signs at the bottom that it is an unmanaged road. I consider the blue one to be the best one, but at the time of research all three of them had closed signs early in the year at Easter time. At this point I doubted that there is frequent ride sharing up to the takeoffs even in summertime. You have to organize on your own, and alone this road up here, well, it's nothing for weak nerves. So anyway, let's see what the launching sites are looking like up here. This is now, according to the coordinates of the German Hang Glider Association, one of the two launching sites of Possagno. This takeoff is pointing to the southeast. It has an altitude of a little bit more than 1,400 meters, and the height difference to the landing is about 1,150 meters. Here are some more impressions about this takeoff site. Now let's move from the southeast takeoff to the landing in the eastern part of Possagno. The distance from the takeoff to the landing is about 4 kilometers. This is now the first landing field of Possagno. It's a very wide and open field, a little bit east to the town center. A lot of place for landing, some obstacles around it, and no windsock. The size of the landing field is about 150 to 80 meters. The obstacles I mentioned are power cables to the east and to the west of the landing, and vineyards to the north and to the south. The takeoff is visible from the landing. Looking up this mountain, the launching sites, they have been straight away up there. So let's proceed with the southwest takeoff. Here I am now at the second launching site. I'm standing exactly at the coordinates of the German Hang Glider Association's launch site map. There's also no windsock here. I am standing at this place at the moment according to the coordinates from the association and from different apps. But taking off here would make no sense at all because it's a very flat field. It's not really at the head of the ridge and not pointing to the southwest. I don't like such flat takeoffs anyway. I like them to be a little bit steeper. So let's get to the front and have a look. If there's a better opportunity to the southwest, maybe we don't need to be exactly at the coordinates. Leave the coordinates for a couple of meters. And in the front here, it would make much more sense to take off. Of course you take off directly at the ridge and not a couple of meters behind. But I was so desperate to find a windsock that I stuck to the coordinates totally. As I found no windsock nowhere, doubts came up if Possagno really is a paragliding area and if it made sense to get up here or if it was all for nothing. This is now at the front of the ridge, and if the weather wouldn't have been so bad, I would have started here in southwest wind conditions. Besides the house in front of us, there are no obstacles and takeoff would be easy. But obviously, if we look around in the area, there are a lot of other takeoff options which can be used. After having seen the southwest takeoff, let's proceed to the final destination of this video, to the western landing in Possagno. Down the road again, but this is the good part of the road, not the bad part. Distance from takeoff to landing is about 4 kilometers, slightly to the west. If you look up here, up to the mountain, then you see the upper launching spots and the lower launching spots. And this landing place, it's a huge field. The dimension of the field is about 175 to 100 meters. Obstacles are to the east, where there is an electric line, and to the south, where we find some light poles. The landing is easy if you have to do an outside landing because it came from Bassano. This is an option. What I mean here is that if you started in Bassano and maybe you made it up all the ridge and you don't make it back, maybe due to west wind situation, why not landing in Possagno? It's only a 50 minutes ride by bus back from Possagno to Bassano. Again, there's no windsock. Well, if there is no windsocks anywhere, I wonder if this is an official paragliding area. But I came here because the German Hang Glider Association, in their database, they said so. Even so, if it's not an official landing site and you're landing here, you can blame the German Hang Glider Association if somebody complains. I did not publish this video for nearly 9 months because I was really not sure whether Possagno is a paragliding area or not. Then I found paragliding schools offering trips to Possagno, and then to me it was clear, yes, it is a paragliding area, and yes, the coordinates from the German Hang Glider Association, they are fine. This area can be used for paragliding.